Hello Aquarius, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your bonus reading for the first half of January. Issues and challenges is what we're taking a look at here today of your heart connection. General reading as always, guys, so it won't resonate with every single person. Please do take from it what makes sense for you, release the rest, and if you're interested in your own personal private reading, that information is down below in the description box, as well as a link to all of the decks and creators that you see here today, Aquarius. So these are the 3 decks that we'll be using for your focus messages to get things started. The first one is the Top Secret deck by Angelic Revelation 144, and we'll grab a message from the Truth Rising deck by Fire Witch Tarot, and lastly the Soul Activation Oracle by Rising Sun Oracle. So let me set these guys aside and let's get started. And of course, cross watchers and anyone else who has been guided to this reading are welcome. All right, Aquarius, so let's go ahead and grab your first focus message here. This one is grabbing my attention. I want you to sext me, okay? This could have been something that you guys did in the past, or this could be what's currently going on between you and a particular person, Aquarius. Okay, so that's very particular for some of you, but it is coming through. I feel like grabbing one more. Let's grab this one. I avoid the karmic as much as possible. So part of the issue for some of you, part of the challenge could be that someone was involved in a very challenging karmic partnership. Okay, and it could have been for some of you a third-party situation where there were infidelities and sexting with a karmic, and that ultimately might have driven the two of you apart. Okay, so very specific messages presenting itself already for Aquarius. All right, so let's add to this with the Truth Rising. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aquarius. What is your second focus message? All right, let's grab one. I'm guided to this one. Temperamental. Okay. So you could have been dealing with someone who might have been a bit of a hothead. They could have had a temper. They were very temperamental. Maybe they would say things without even thinking about it and say very hurtful things, possibly. It could also be some of you guys dealing with a karmic who had a temper. Okay, so take that if it resonates. So let's go ahead and grab your third focus message here, Aquarius, from the Soul Activation Oracle deck. Angels and spirit guides, please. For Aquarius. All right, what's your third message here? Guided to this card. Kindness. Picking up off of the heart chakra energy. The crystal attached to this card is the pink opal, so that might be a favorite crystal for some of you guys. Now, it's just interesting to me how we've got temperamental on one end, and then we've got kindness on the other end. You know, I'm kind of feeling for some of you, maybe you dealt with someone who 1 minute they're really nice and they're kind to you, somebody that you really love being with, and then the next thing you know, they're flying off the handle and saying very mean things. Okay, so we'll see how the rest of this reading goes. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay, so let's take a look and see what else needs to come through here. So we're going to start things off with the Issues deck, another deck by Fire Witch Tarot here, which is a perfect deck for this reading because we are looking at issues and challenges. So you don't have to resonate with each and every issue that pops up. We're just pulling cards for the collective. So there are quite a few issues that we might ultimately see in this reading. Take whichever one you're most guided towards when it comes to your particular situation. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aquarius for this bonus reading. All right. What are some of the issues? Grouchy. Mad for no reason. Never in the right mood. Temperamental. Makes sense. Makes sense that some of you guys might be dealing with someone like this. And that creates a lot of drama in a partnership. Interesting. The unknown leaves you in the dark about things. Okay, so the person that you are focused on for this reading, Aquarius, they might hold things back from you. They might not be fully opening themselves up to you, keeping things from you, lying to you, keeping secrets. And as it says, leaves you in the dark. Which is, in a partnership, definitely an issue and a challenge. What else, please, for Aquarius? Domestic violence. Wow. Purposely physically abuses or vice versa. Temperamental, grouchy, mad for no reason. Someone's got a temper here. And if some of you are able to relate to this domestic violence card, then perhaps that's why you guys are not together. Or it could be serving as a warning for you to get out of a situation that could be abusive. That's not for everyone, of course, but it is coming through here. Too questionable. Questions everything and asks too many damn questions. What I'm feeling here is, for some of you guys that relate to this, of course, you could have been in an abusive relationship where you couldn't even make a move without letting this person know who you were with, who you were talking to, what you were doing. They could have been very controlling. They get mad. They are very temperamental, as it says there. So this person, actually, Aquarius, could be the karmic. And maybe this is where you're being directed to detach from someone like this in order to find someone way better suited for you. We've got no closure. So if, for example, you were in an abusive partnership, and again, this will not apply to everyone, and if, for example, you guys just ended things abruptly, or you detached and you broke up with this person, whether they accepted that or not, and that could have really pissed them off, that could have contributed to the domestic violence issues because you decided to walk away. And then we've got no closure here. Leaves things unresolved, staying clueless. So that could be your karmic. That could be this person who was violent and had a temper. And they were just really clueless about their actions and how they were being towards you. Look at this. Fake breakups, break up to make up, on and off. All right, so this is pretty challenging what I'm picking up, Aquarius, because I'm feeling you guys were in a very challenging partnership, whether there was physical abuse or not. And you guys get into these arguments, they're temperamental, they're not being very nice to you, and you guys break up, get back together, break up, get back together. They pour on the sweetness and the kindness. When you guys break up, wanting to win you back, you take them back, and it's back to square one with them being grouchy, being mean to you, and again, for some, domestic violence. And they're not allowing you to be fully a part of their heart, their life. If they're leaving you in the dark about certain things as to what's going on in their life, that's going to create bigger challenges later on. No wonder we've got stress. Stress-related issues affects the connection. They stress you the fuck out. Yeah. Dealing with this, who wouldn't be stressed out? And I'm not surprised to see this. Selfish, all about their own pleasure. That's because they're self-absorbed. They're focusing on what it is that they want, what it is that they need. And guess what? That's pretty much a definition of a karmic partner. They don't respect the healthy boundaries in a partnership. They're all about themselves, what they want, what they need to make them happy, to fulfill them, their own self-interests. And believe it or not, karmic partnerships can be abusive or codependent. So, this is quite interesting, Aquarius, because remember, we've got this message right here. I avoid the karmic as much as possible. This could be you avoiding this karmic because of all this nonsense right here. And maybe this is a time and place for you entering a brand new year to be kind to yourself. It's time for you to be kind to you, especially if you dealt with someone who had no clue how to treat you and how to treat you properly and appreciate you for who you are and who you represented in the partnership. That's some pretty heavy stuff coming through. But you know, that's what we're looking at here. So that you can tackle these issues and challenges and either deal with it, fix it, or move on from it, so that it doesn't affect the rest of your year, so that you can actually create whatever changes need to happen, so your life in 2021 will be happy and take you down a road where you can look back at the beginning of this year and realize that you've grown, that you're in a much better place. So let's continue with the challenges. This is the Twin Flame Shadows deck by Mystic Moon. Okay, so more challenges that need to come through here when it comes to the partnership. And the only way to work through it and to get through it is to face it. And of course, if it's obviously called Twin Flame Shadows, okay, but if you don't identify with a twin flame connection, you don't have to. We're just focusing on the messages here. All right, Aquarius, what else? Man, this is some pretty heavy stuff that some of you guys have dealt with. Non-action, so there's not a whole lot going on between the two of you right now. That's because more than likely you're avoiding them, you know, and if that's the case, good for you. You don't need to be taking any sort of action towards this person. Especially if there was this pattern of getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. It's like a never-ending revolving door of heartbreak and making up and trying to give this person another chance. And they have failed over and over and over again. Make this the year to stop that revolving door. Look at this. They're irresponsible. Some of you guys could have even been married to this person. Look at that photo. Look at that. It's a bride and groom. They're skeletons. This marriage does not have the proper foundation to thrive and to stay alive. Okay, that's why they're skeletons. Because someone was irresponsible here. Part of that irresponsibility, it's interesting that it's falling right next to this card, the unknown, leaves you in the dark about things. What is it that they're leaving you in the dark about? An affair? Someone that they're talking to, someone that they're sexting. You know, it's like they fly off the handle, they lose their temper with you, and the next thing you know, they're sexting someone else. Irresponsible. Look at this. Silenced, falling right next to domestic violence. If that's the only way that they're able to silence you, is to hurt you physically, it's time to get out. And I'm hoping that for those of you that resonate with this, you've gotten yourself out. Find the strength within you to be able to empower yourself, to get yourself in a much better point and place in your life. We've got repelled. So I kind of feel this for some of you, that you're just done with this person. It's like a repellent, you know, we don't want anything further to do with that person. That's why you're avoiding them. Good for you. You know, it's like no more. You've hurt me too many times, no more. We have embarrassment. They could be very embarrassed over their actions, how they treated you. Having those temper tantrums like a child. They could have even demonstrated this type of behavior out in public, and that as well could have been very embarrassing. Look at this. We've got unavailable. Maybe it is you, Aquarius, that is no longer available for this person because they've had way too many chances to be able to rectify this, to fix this. But maybe they couldn't. They couldn't. And again, just the lineup of these cards, it's interesting because unavailable falling right next to fake breakups, breakup to make up on and off. That cycle is done. You're no longer available to make up and break up with. Look at this, one-sided. It's one-sided because they weren't fully invested in the partnership, especially if they were having an affair with someone, if there were third parties here, if they were sexting someone else, leaving you in the dark about whatever the hell it was that they were doing. So here you were maybe putting as much as you could into the partnership and they weren't. And that creates an out of balance vibe in a partnership. There's no way around it. So I'm not surprised to see that it is one-sided. And maybe because you are no longer available for this person to push around, to hurt, to treat you poorly, to disrespect you. You're no longer available for them, and so therefore it is now a one-sided deal. And maybe they've got regrets that you're no longer investing your time and energy. Look at this, cold. If you're being cold towards this person, Aquarius, I can't help but feel that they deserve it. You know, they deserve it. Because they were very cold towards you at one point in time. So now the tables have turned, I feel. So if there's nothing going on between the two of you with this non-action card, that's because you're no longer willing to put in the effort to allow them back in. You're kind of done with the drama. So that's good. You know, you're starting over perhaps this year and willing to see where life can actually take you on a much better journey than where you've been. So I'm happy to actually see that perhaps you're finally taking control of your life and you're no longer allowing yourself to be mistreated and to be disrespected by someone who treated you this way. So let's add some tarot to this, guys. This is my Modern Day Seers Tarot and Oracle. It is tarot with a twist, and as you'll see, it's a very different deck, a very different take on tarot. I've added new oracle messages here as well as new court cards. So we'll see if any of those messages pop up. It's a big deck, about 117 cards here. So if you're interested in this one, as well as any of the other ones, the decks and links are all down below. All right, Aquarius, what can we add to this? Okay, we have a reverse card, as you can see. Okay, so this is the Duke of Air. This is so freaking interesting because this is a new court card in this deck. Okay, so the Duke of Air represents divine masculine. Divine masculine energy, Aquarius, your own vibe right here. Now, some of you might even be thinking of a masculine who is a fellow air sign like yourself, feminines, okay? So it is in the reverse. This is someone who hides their emotions. They are elusive. They are not available. They do not make themselves available for you. And so maybe now the tables have turned and you're not available for them. This is a very cold-hearted person. We've got that cold energy right there. So I can't help but feel that whatever side of the fence you're on, for you, the viewer, that the tables have turned. If they were cold towards you before, now you're cold towards them. If they were unavailable for you before, now you're unavailable for them. And again, it's interesting because if you look at the definition of the reverse, it says quiet right here. Okay? Remember this card? Silenced. There's nothing left to say. So they're quiet because what more can they do? They can't continue to hurt you if you don't allow it anymore. You've closed the door. Okay? And I mean, clearly, this says deceptive, liar, unfaithful husband, and an absentee father. That is the Duke of Air in the reverse. So I really feel, my feminine, some of you guys, this is what you dealt with. An unfaithful spouse. For those of you who have children, they were not a very good parent. They were unavailable for your children or your child. This is somebody who's very irrational, okay? I'm not surprised to see that in the reverse. We've got the Four of Cups. So this is a missed opportunity. I'm kind of feeling it more so for the person that you're thinking about for this reading. They missed out on living a life with you because they fucked up. That's it. Plain and simple, they messed up. They messed up and they've got some regrets here. This is also a card of disconnectedness. It could have been you, Aquarius, that disconnected from this person. And they've got a lot to think about here. This is a card of contemplation, meditation, reevaluation. So now they're looking at their life and they're seeing things from a very different perspective. It's like, oh crap, what have I done? I perhaps at one point in time had everything that I could have possibly ever wanted in love and romance, and I messed it up. They messed it up, Aquarius. And then you've got the Nine of Pentacles right here, which is so interesting again, because this is a card of freedom. You broke free from a situation that was no longer working for you. And the Nine of Pentacles is all about abundance, being self-sufficient. You can be financially independent on your own. Some of you guys might even have gone into business for yourself. You could be an entrepreneur. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of being solo, of being independent. So you're not with this person who mistreated you. You're able to stand on your own 2 feet. Now, for some of you guys resonating with this reading, this could all represent past energies of what you've been through. Because the Nine of Pentacles could also represent pregnancy for some of you. Maybe you've moved on, you have found love elsewhere. Maybe you're expecting a baby right now. Could be any of these things. But you are independent of somebody that did not treat you right. They didn't treat you right. We have the Duchess of Water, which is another new court card from this deck. This now represents the Divine Feminine here. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So for some of you, you might resonate with the energy of the Duchess of Water. This is someone who's very reliable and organized. Your masculine certainly could see you as a very captivating, attractive person. But the Duchess of Water stays away from drama. This feminine is emotionally balanced, very highly intuitive, as a parent, very lovable, and as a spouse, as a wife, very dependable. So some of you, my feminines, might have been dealing with a masculine who did not appreciate these qualities. This could be what you're working through as well this year, if you embody the qualities of the Duchess of Water. You don't want any more drama. You've had enough of that. We've got the Five of Wands here. I'm not surprised to see that either, because this is a card of competition, of rivalry, of conflicts and struggles. There were other people that were a part of this equation. And so more than likely you guys argued about this, because there were infidelities. There were lies. Somebody who wasn't being upfront. Somebody who left you in the dark. The interesting thing too about the Five of Wands is somebody's got a temper. And we've got that right here. Temperamental, grouchy, mad for no reason. They're never in the right mood, as it says. And so maybe, Aquarius, you just did not know how to handle this person as far as, is this going to be a good day? Or are they going to be triggered by something I say or something I do? So Five of Wands, picking up off of the arguments that you guys have had. We've got the Emerald of Water. So there's quite a bit of water coming through here for some of you. You might have water in your chart as well, or you could be focused on a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, because that is coming through here. So the Emerald of Water, it's time to go with the flow of where life and love want to take you. Being rigid and closed-minded prevents you from growing and finding the many blessings that are meant for you. Remove stagnancy, stubbornness, and stalemate type situations from your journey. Love yourself enough to see that you are a gem with so much to offer to the world and to the one who is meant for you. This person did not deserve you, and perhaps you're finally at the point where you realize that. It's time for you to be kind to yourself. See the gem within you. And isn't it interesting how it mentions stubbornness and stalemate type situations? Because look at the next card. We've got the Two of Swords. This is your own air energy, Aquarius. There's our stalemate card. So things are at a stalemate because you're done. If there is this stuck energy between you and this person, that's because, and as it came through earlier, from this card, no action. No action, it's a stalemate. You guys are at a crossroads, especially if you're just uncertain whether you can ever interact with this person again. Because you deserve better, and it's perhaps make this the year to create movement in your life where you can finally be happy with the right kind of love. And as the Emerald of Water says, to be with the one who is meant for you. And I'm also feeling for some of you guys, maybe it was hard to detach from this person because you guys, again, were in and out of each other's lives. But if they're abusive, if they've hurt you, not necessarily physically, although that is coming through here, and there is this energy of codependency, it might have been very difficult to break from this person, Aquarius. So either you've already done it, or you're in the process of it, or you're thinking about it. Because this can be the year for change. This can be the year where you can be completely fulfilled and happy. So you can make these things happen for yourself. All right, so let's add to this. And let's see what else needs to come through here. We're going to grab some messages from the Love Games deck by Sister Moon Tarot. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aquarius. All right, what else do we need to know for this bonus reading? Tackling issues and challenges. So if you feel the need to just be solo and independent for now, that might be what gets you moving in the right direction to find the love that you deserve. Someone who will treat you right once and for all. We've got swooning. Maybe when you first met this person, you know, there was this vibe of swooning, and they could also have really poured on the charm, you know, just said whatever it was that you needed to say, or that they needed to say to you to win you over. Or every time you guys broke up, they would swoon you back in, you know? We've got hibernating. This could be the energy that you are in right now, Aquarius. Non-action, stalemate, no movement, in hibernation mode. Maybe just really needing some time alone to figure things out in your life. And certainly closing the door to certain chapters of your life that you know it's run its course. It's done. We've got retreating here. So to me, for this particular reading, you are retreating away from this person. You're backing away from it. You're repelled by this person. Remember, that came through as well. We've got repelled right there. We already know they're a very irresponsible partner. So why would you want to have anything to do with someone like that? Shadow side. I do believe the person that you are thinking about for this reading, if you resonate with what's come through here, they could have had a very dark side to them. And that's what's keeping them in the shadows. And the only way for them to get out of that is to do that shadow work. There's healing that they need to do. You've got, in the meantime, you've got choices. You've got choices that could be presenting itself to you this year, Aquarius. So it's time to start making better choices, wise choices. Look at this. I'm not surprised really that we've got this card, returns, because they want you back. They want you to be a part of their life. I'm just feeling here for the majority that you're done, as you should be. So here you are, you're planning your next move as to where to go, what to do, what's the next chapter of your life. So plan accordingly and plan wisely and put yourself first this time. It's your turn, you know? All right, guys, so I wanted to go ahead and grab some dialogue messages. This is my newest deck. It's called the He Said, She Said Oracle. Each card contains 2 messages reflective off of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. So take from these whatever makes sense for you. We'll go ahead and grab a few and see what presents itself here, what you guys would want to say to each other at this point in time. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aquarius. All right. There's lots of messages in this deck. I believe there's 120 cards altogether. So what do you guys need to say to each other? Okay. He said, "You melt my heart with your smile." She said, "You're the reason behind that smile." Okay, so to me, this is picking up off of those times when the relationship was good and where there was a reason to smile. You know, yes, you guys had your ups and downs. They were mean to you, they were kind to you. So this, I feel, is picking up off of those times when they saw you as a life partner, they loved your smile, you loved theirs. Times were good. But look at this next message here. He said, "I'm really bad at commitment." She said, "Why do I always attract men who are bad at commitment?" Okay, so that's something, perhaps energetically wise, you can figure that out. Maybe it's time to create some major changes this year so that you're not always attracting the same type of person. Let's grab some more. So yeah, you know, it wasn't always bad times that you guys were in, but I do feel that that's kind of taken over the direction of where things ultimately went. They could have been really a great partner in the beginning, but something clearly has shifted here. He said, "You take my breath away." She said, "That's because you are the reason behind every breath I take." You know, you guys could have definitely been so much a part of each other's lives. You know, you're the reason behind the smile, the reason behind every breath I take. So my feminines, this is where you're at, or where you were. But clearly, as more time unfolded, your masculine ended up coming through that they're bad at commitment. That could have resulted in infidelities. What else for Aquarius? Oh my gosh, wow. He said nothing. She said goodbye. Silence. I forget what other sign I did this reading for using all of these same cards, but these two cards came together. Look at that. Silenced. Silence. Very specific message for some of you. You're not talking. We have a masculine here who did nothing to fix the situation, and therefore, my feminines, you took control of yourself, your life, this connection, and you severed ties. You said goodbye. And so now you guys are not speaking. And it's just interesting to me how we've got this. I avoid the karmic as much as possible. You're not speaking. You said goodbye, my feminines, to a karmic, because this karmic did nothing to fix it. So now you guys are not speaking, or they could certainly be texting or sexting you and you're not responding. He said, "So we're okay now?" She said, "Yeah, sure." Lies. This could have been, for some of you, a conversation that took place. Maybe you were done, my feminines, and you were just saying whatever it was that you needed to say to be left alone by your person. And I feel this could have been a repetitive conversation. You know, again, breaking up to make up. It's like, "So we're okay now, let's get back together." "Okay, let's give this another try." And that could have been happening over and over and over again. So it's time to be mindful of the truth of what's really in your heart and what it is that you're wanting in your life now. Silence. Commitment issues. Okay, so take whatever part of those messages makes sense for you. All right, guys, so let's wrap things up here with some additional guidance from my Heart and Soul deck. So let's take a look and see what presents itself here. Angels and spirit guides, please, for Aquarius, for this bonus reading. Wrapping things up here, Aquarius. Definitely lots of issues and challenges that have presented itself here. So I'm feeling more so for you, Aquarius, that you are taking control of your life, detaching from situations that no longer serve a purpose for you, and no longer willing to put up any sort of drama. Put yourself first this year. Look at that. Look at that. It says sever. There comes a point when you know in your heart of hearts it's over. There's nothing more to say, nothing more to do. That doesn't make it any easier to let go. No one can rush you to detach, but the day will come when it won't be so hard. Damn, I could not have chosen a better card for this reading, Aquarius. I feel it. Wow. Look at these next two cards. We've got fragmentary and ruined. So I'm kind of feeling this for your person that you detached from. Fragmentary. You and I are pieces to a puzzle that make no sense when we are apart. Incomplete without all the pieces of who we are together. You are the missing piece of my heart. Without you, the masterpiece of my life will forever remain unfinished. But if they treated you this way, it makes sense, Aquarius, why you would detach from someone like that. And then we have ruined. I thought I had it all together, my life, my ambitions, goals, dreams. Then you came and ruined all my plans with your presence, your beauty, your heart. I can't imagine a day without you, and yet here we are, apart. Please return, for without you my life is in ruins. But you know, the thing is, they ruined it for themselves based off of how they treated you. So we've got returns right here already. They want you back for sure. But do they deserve you? No. Because you deserve better than what they were able to offer you. My goodness. You deserve better. So that's where I'm going to leave that one, Aquarius, because that's very matter of fact. It's time to sever ties with somebody who hurt you, whether through domestic violence or broke your heart, did not treat you right. This is your year. This is your year for change, to create better situations for yourself in your love life and just life overall. Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave this one, guys. Whatever part of it resonated with you, I do hope that it helped you out. And if you're interested in your own personal private reading, that information is down below in the description box. Take care of yourselves, Aquarius, and I'll see you next time. Take care.